Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad. Just wanted to share with you some thoughts that's been going through my head recently. And this is video number 17, I believe. Picture on the screen you'll see is very hazy and very smoky. It was taken in 2017 in 100 Mile House in the interior of British Columbia. And it was forest fire season, the worst forest fire season, I believe, on record. 67,000 people plus had to evacuate their houses. As a result, some of them couldn't get in their houses, go back home for a month or more. And the government in British Columbia has an organization called Emergency Support Services who assist these evacuees. And I'm a volunteer for one of the local communities here on Vancouver Island. The Emergency Support Services volunteers in 100 Mile House were getting burnt out. They've been working with the evacuees for over a month, and they asked for some relief. So 4 of us flew up from Vancouver Island to the interior and helped relieve the volunteers at 100 Mile House. So this was a picture taken from the parking lot near the curling rink where we had set up a reception center to work with the evacuees, and they would come and ask for some assistance for groceries, maybe accommodation, etc. And we saw what we could do to help them. So I'll show you a few pictures. This is the entrance to the curling club. On the side here is a sign saying reception center, and that was the entrance. And on the door, you may notice a Red Cross sign because the Red Cross were also assisting. There's a picture of the 4 volunteers who flew up, myself and the other 3 ladies. And this lady in the middle here is the Emergency Support Services Director for 100 Mile House. And the next picture, I believe, is of the sign saying Red Cross is next door at the curling rink, and the Emergency Support Services were also there. The inside, this was one of the tables where we were having a break. I think we were waiting for evacuees to come before we opened the doors one day. And so we took a picture of the 4 of us from Vancouver Island. And there's the next picture, I believe, is on the other side of the curling rink, where people were waiting for Red Cross to be interviewed on how they could assist some of the evacuees. If you want to know where 100 Mile House is, here on the bottom left is Vancouver Island, and you'll see here's Whistler, and Vancouver is a bit south of that. And in this section here where the highlighting is 100 Mile House, and the red roads were blocked. You'll see they were blocked off because of the fires. So to get into 100 Mile House, we actually had flown into further south. Because of the smoke, we were supposed to fly to Kamloops, but it was smoked in, and so the airport was closed. We flew further south to Kelowna and then got a car and drove up this route. And while we were at 100 Mile House, lightning struck on a Saturday night. Well, there was a wedding going on at Cannon Lake, and all of the people had to evacuate. And we worked with a lot of those evacuees all night. We had worked during the day on Saturday. Then at Saturday night, when the lightning struck and all the evacuees came, many of them came to 100 Mile House. We helped them, worked all night, trying to assist them with some accommodation, etc. We set up some facilities which allowed them to sleep in the community center with cots, etc. So that was some of the excitement while we were at 100 Mile House. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because I believe it applies a lot to today's world, what's going on. In 2017, we had all those evacuees, 67,000 could not get back into their houses. Now we've had people in their houses not able to go out, but it's still some lessons to be learned, I think. This was a card that the director at 100 Mile House gave me for saying thank you, and gave all of us for, coming and sharing our knowledge and experience and helping them out. And I also received um, a certificate of recognition while from the Emergency Management British Columbia. And that's where I also got this hat. And also, whilst I was there, I bought this shirt because they were raising funds to help people. And so there was some fundraising that was done. So that's where I got the shirt. Was at 100 Mile House that I'm wearing at the moment. So that is there's a couple other pictures that might be of interest to you. This was where they had set up cots this was in Kamloops actually, so it wasn't 100 Mile House, but there was, with all the evacuees, they set up cots for people in the hockey arena so they could stay if they wasn't any other accommodation for them. And this is outside of some of the reception centers. People and a lot of the evacuees and a community had come out and to help them there. You could see a fellow dressed in his clown suit making animals, balloon animals for children. So with that, I'll stop sharing and just say the word of the day today, which I think is appropriate to what's going on, is community. And I believe that community is our major strength. And emergency support services helps people when there are needs and problems. And what we're looking for today as well is how can we help people, because the world is changing and there's a lot of problems, and COVID-19 has exposed a lot of the problems that we weren't prepared for. So what can we do? Well, as a community, if we find like-minded people who can work together to help solve the problems, we will have a major impact on the world. And that means like-minded people, means that people with different backgrounds, different religions, different politics, different races, different ages, young and old, males and females, women and men working together to solve these problems. And if you do that, you feel enormously fulfilled. And if you can help people solve their problems, that will make a major impact. In COVID-19, that can be our legacy. So I just thought I'd share my experience and why I believe working together as a community is very, very powerful. So I'll get off of my high horse and say adios, au revoir. We'll see you again in a video soon, and wishing you lots of love and laughter to you, your family, and friends. So bye for now from Fred, from Notes of a Nomad.